Amir Simyar is on the line and we're going to talk about his book, The Magical Clean Sewer. Good afternoon, Amir. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much, and thanks for having me. I greatly appreciate it, Toby.
What was it that inspired you to write The Magical Clean Sewer, and was it inspired by your background?
I was inspired to write the story from this idea I had for an animated project at a very early age. It's about Kex and Kola, two hamster morphs that live inside of a magical clean sewer. The story is unique in a way because it has never been told by anyone before. These hamsters, they are no ordinary hamsters. They are morphs created by the pet trade. Their grandparents basically managed to escape captivity as they settled in a magical clean sewer where they have access to food every day compared to city rodents, who usually eat every 3 days. As, the inspiration came, I guess, as a kid, I was always inspired to know what it was like inside of the sewer, looking at the lid from above. At times, I used to see rodents, crawl up from the sewer thinking what life was like down there for those residents. You know how it is when you're a kid and you want to open up that lid, climb into the sewer and explore as you find it fascinating, but you're still living with a slight touch of hesitation because it's the unknown. On top of that, a sewer lid is too heavy for a kid to lift. Trust me, I tried it. Then when I started writing scripts at an early age, I adapted a vision of a magical world below a lid that no one thought was possible. And the story was adapted in such a way so that it became commercially attractive to an audience as the years went by. And that's what's going to make the, show into success because it's a world created for those who like to dream. At the end of the day, I was never able to lift that lid as a kid to get an actual vision by using my imagination. I pictured how life was down there for those rodents, and that's how basically I developed the story.
Yeah.
Toby, I'm going to tell you something, and this is a real story. There was an elderly person that once approached me in the city. I've never met him before, never had any contact with him, but he had seen the show, the animated TV show before, the book was going to be released. He had seen the animated TV show on YouTube, and he approached me, and, his exact words to me was that, he seen the show on YouTube and he thought it was great, very educational. And he said that I hope that you get an Oscar for your achievement one day. But on top of that, just leaving all of that behind of, how great the show is, he asked me, what is your story really about? And, I told him, if you look at the context, the concept of the magical clean sewer, it basically gives children the inspiration that they can come from any kind of background and become whatever they wish to become in life. There's really nothing that can stop your goals if you put your mind up to it or work on your craft properly. He looked at me and said, I wish you the best of luck. It's one of the best stories that I've seen in my lifetime. That was his exact words. And as I said, I never seen him. And, he thought, I never seen him. I never met him before. And he also thought that he was an inspirational story.
That's true about the sewer lids being so heavy, isn't it? Because I've tried to lift one as well. It's so heavy, it requires two people at least.
I know, but you know how it is. As I said, when you're a kid, you always, you see rodents crawl up and down the sewer, and it was like a magical world. I don't know what it was, but I always had a fascination about the sewer. I always wondered, is there a life down there, and how do they live? And that's the imagination I used later on when I started developing my own story.
You have a big background in dentistry and filmmaking and storytelling. How did that diverse background and experience contribute to the book?
Everything I do in life, I try to do it with perfection, whether it's dentistry, filmmaking, or writing a book. I'm passionate about everything I do. So by using certain aspects of dentistry, I did so that the book became educational for children. By using my vision from a director's point of view, I created the best artwork I could for children to view as they read the book page by page. And then I used my skills as a screenwriter to write the book so that children would enjoy the story of the clean sewer. I've been a storyteller since a young kid. I have received multiple outstanding achievement awards for my poetry by the Library of Congress. I've also received multiple awards in Vegas because, of this achievement. I'm a published poet. So my storytelling, it started as a poet, basically. And then based on that, I built on to become a, scriptwriter, etc., basically.
Yeah. And is there an educational message behind the book about dental hygiene?
Yeah, it is. You know, it is educational. Part of the book is educational. The book teaches children the importance of brushing twice a day, morning and night, and it will inspire the child to basically brush their teeth properly, and that toothbrushing is fun and not boring. It should be something that toothbrushing is something that every child should look forward to in the morning when they wake up and before they go to sleep at night. In my clinic, I have a lot of older people that come to me, not necessarily old by age, but they always tell me that, if they, they always tell me when they come to my clinic that their teeth should not be in the condition that that it is in, had they been informed about proper oral hygiene at an early age. That's what gave me the inspiration to write this book, and I wrote it in a way so that they would emphasize the importance of toothbrushing, and I kept it simple and to a minimum so that children would not get bored by the story and think that it's only about dental hygiene. Don't get me wrong, dental hygiene is very important, but I still wanted them to see the magical world that I created and also enjoy the entertainment aspect of the whole story. I want to give them a vision of this tour that I created, because at the end of the day, yes, my work is very educational, but at the same time, my stories are entertainment.
And how do you manage to make children look forward to brushing their teeth? Because that sounds impossible. It's just a part of the day that has to be done and is mundane. Unless you really like the taste of your toothpaste, why would you look forward to it?
Because there's a toothpaste and fluoride song that is incorporated into this story. It's called the toothpaste and fluoride. So I'm actually right now scouting for theatrical singer that can sing the song. I plan on releasing it as a single. Parts of the song were placed in the book as poetry. But, that toothpaste and fluoride song, when they read it, that will basically teach them how to properly brush their teeth twice a day. And I did actually a couple of test records.
Yeah.
You don't know how to brush properly if you're using a manual toothbrush. If you're using an electrical toothbrush, it does the circular movements for you automatically. But most people don't do it until, they get that advice from a dentist. So that's basically the educational aspect of putting together a theatrical song. And as I said, part of that theatrical song is in the book as poetry, basically. It's called the toothpaste and fluoride song.
Do you think there's a lack of awareness generally, both in children and adults, about brushing your teeth effectively? Because when I was growing up, at school I remember constantly being taught about how to properly brush your teeth. We would even brush our teeth during school sometimes, and yet people often don't know how to do it properly. And also, you see polls and stuff, everybody knows you're meant to brush your teeth twice a day, but some people only do it once or not at all.
Right. Yeah, there is a lack of, I wouldn't say that a lack of education. Some people, like most people, know that they should brush at least twice. The thing that people do not know, that patients that come to me, what they do not know is that you should floss once a day. And some people don't know how to floss, basically. Like they don't know the importance of flossing on a daily. And when it comes to fluoride use, basically, that's where the lack of knowledge is. Everybody knows basically how to brush twice, but some ignore it. And some people, they don't want to do it because they have jobs that really doesn't give them the time. By the time they get home, their shifts are so heavy that by the time they get home, they're exhausted and they don't want to brush at night. They brush one time in the morning before going to work. So that's how it is. I think that, education is the key to teaching people about oral hygiene. And if you go on your 6 months recall to a dentist, I think you should be fine.
For people that don't know, how do you floss and what is the importance of it?
Well, basically everybody, not everybody, but flossing is what I recommend all my patients is to use floss picks, because most people, they use the string. And when you use the string, you have to angulate it in different directions, and it becomes very hard by using a dental floss. The string, it makes it very hard in the molar region to basically get in between the tooth and make it clean. But if you use floss picks, it's very easy to angulate it. And I've had a few patients that they said we can't just get the hang of the string, the dental floss. It's not working for us. And I always recommend them, if you use the floss pick, it's going to work, and you're not going to have any problems with getting in between the posterior teeth and cleaning that out. And they feel that, the bad breath and everything started disappearing. Everything that they thought was like, they thought they was doing something, some mistakes while toothbrushing, while the whole case was that there was nothing wrong with the toothbrushing. It was just the fact that the bad breath came from food that had been stuck in between the teeth, that they had no knowledge of, that, you can get rid of that by flossing on a daily.
So going back to the book, The Magical Clean Sewer, is there a message that you'd hope the parents would take away from it?
Well, I know that, the message is going to, convey to the parents, because they will basically, from what I think, is that they will come to love the book, because they will probably no longer have problems trying to convince the kids to brush their teeth twice a day after the kids start, singing the toothpaste and fluoride song. On top of that, I think that the whole family will enjoy a unique story about a magical sewer. The book will teach children about hygiene and teamwork, because it took a team of hamsters to build and maintain a clean sewer. It's very educational. If you look at it, it teaches you basically about a clean environment and how important it is. It's not just about toothbrushing, but I try to emphasize toothbrushing, because, as I said, a lot of my patients that come to me, they told me if we would have had, somebody that gave us information at a young age about oral hygiene, then we would have been better at it. So that's the inspiration I took that inspiration from what my patients tell me, and I incorporated into a book to give them the knowledge at an early age, as educational entertainment. And once they grow up, they will automatically come to realize how important oral hygiene is.
Did you feel a particular pressure when you're writing books for children to teach them about oral hygiene? I guess there's a lot of pressure on that, because that's an important lesson in their life.
Well, I mean, I don't think I felt any pressure, because, I didn't overdo it. I kept it to a minimum. As I said, like most of the projects that I have, my projects are basically entertainment. And I was having a discussion with a film producer, and he said, Amir, like, what is the purpose of you writing these kind of stories? And I said, my stories are pure entertainment. That's what I want it to be fun for children and adults to watch, basically. So no, I didn't feel any pressure. I just emphasized it, not too much, but still in a way, so that that the message would get through to the audience.
So, do you have plans to write another book after this one?
Yeah, of course. I have a follow-up book coming. And I can tell you already. The name of it. I call it the Super League. It's mostly entertainment with a slight touch of education. It's the second book in the franchise, because I have to have a follow-up book.
Yeah.
As we have the larger animated episodes of Kex and Kola that will hopefully be produced and distributed worldwide. On the shorts, I feel like on the shorts I can only give the audience a vision. However, in the larger episodes, I'm going to be able to give my audience the big picture. Also, the quality of production for the TV show will also be better than what I've produced so far. But I can tell you like this: the book has nothing to do with the TV show. The book is actually an adaptation of the TV show, but the stories that we tell in the TV show, we're not going to tell that in the book as well, because then it will make it boring for the audience. If they've already seen it on TV, then that same story will not be displayed in the book. We always try to have a different stories, whether it's an episode that we do or whether it's a book that we give out, so that it's always something new that they come in contact with when they read about Kex and Kola, the magical story of the clean sewer.
Well, in the meantime, where are we able to find your book, The Magical Clean Sewer?
Well, you can find it on Amazon. You can find it on Waterstones. You name it. You can order it from anywhere. And the website is live, so it's possible to order it, and it's up for pre-sale right now. Pre-order. Sorry, it's up for pre-order right now, and it will be out. The physical book will be released on October 15th, basically.
Excellent. Well, many thanks for talking to us today. It's been great having you on.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it.